Hey, good morning. Special guest appearance today.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday to you from our family. And except for our kids who are sleeping, our one kid's not sleeping, but we were walking and talking and thinking about what should we, we got a loose dog here. Hopefully not a problem with that. We were talking about, hey, what should we talk about? Will you be on the daily dose this morning? And this is something, I don't know if you know my wife, she's not much for social media. You won't see her on Facebook at all, even really on Instagram, unless it's looking at dog videos.
Or
any animal, dog animal videos. So we were saying, should we talk about what we think about this world right now and maybe politics? And of course, we're not going to talk about that because it's not worth talking. If you want to have a conversation with us about like what we think about the world and Corona and all that stuff, ask us personally. Then we'll have a conversation. But I would say not for social media. Today we're going to talk about marriage, about actually how to survive in this world today. How do you survive after 21 years of marriage? And when I see you come on here, if you're coming on live, let me know live, but I want to know how many years. Now, this is not to separate people that have been married or maybe people that have not been married or so forth, no matter what your relationship. But if you've been married for any length of time, I'd love to know. We'd love to know how many years and celebrate it, whether it's your first year or it's something that is longer than that. If it's something, of course, we have dog coming in the way here because this is the area where you sniff. This is where the dogs come up and show up socially. So what's the number of years you got? For us, it's actually 19. We've been together for 21 years. 21 years.
December 99.
See, I had to look at her. So 21 years, 99, met in New York. And I know you've heard the story before, I saw her, we met, and that was it. It was done. Started dating, and I haven't stopped dating. And we still have date nights and love those. On a side note, definitely I would say one of the things, if you want to survive, make sure you make time for date night. But what would you say, like in the years, especially now, what would you say as far as surviving 21 years of marriage? What would you think you could give as far as any kind of advice on having to survive?
Survive?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a struggle. Which there is times that it's a struggle. But getting through marriage would have to be, priority would be communicating, definitely. Being honest and communicating. Obviously for us, God is first. So, and that wasn't always the start. I mean, our foundation wasn't, we had it separately, but we didn't have it together as our foundation of our marriage. But that definitely became a huge priority.
Thank goodness.
After having kids and realizing, the only way to get through this is having God first and family support. But yeah, communication would be key.
Communication.
Yeah, not assuming. I know what you say about assuming things.
And I know I put surviving, but I can tell you we didn't just survive. I think some of the times when our kids were little, we survived. But when it came to like really thinking about survival, is you got to be intentional. Obviously, if you want to have a good relationship that lasts, whether it be, with your wife, with your kids, family, you got to be intentional about it. It takes effort, right? It takes work. And I don't like to think of survive, although I put it in there. I like to think as we're thriving, trying to get better, trying to improve, trying to progress, kind of like with workouts. And speaking of, I've told you that my wife does work out, and let's just hear it right from her. So tell me what your morning is in a nutshell and how you take care of yourself.
Well, after getting through a little lazy slump during
Corona
stuff, I finally got back on my morning routine. I've always been a morning person, just from being a nurse in general, all the years, since college. I've always been annoying and a morning person. So my best time is to do it in the morning and get it done with. I'm more productive. I make better choices throughout the day. So I will usually, wake up 4:30ish, do a little
4:30ish. You heard that. Do you have to get up at 4:30? No.
I choose to because I like to do a little devotional, and then I like to work out from 5:30 to 6:30 because I find that at least I get it taken care of. Some days it's a struggle. I don't always want to do it. Lately, Julia's been joining me, so that's been actually super fun to work out with your daughter. We don't always do it together there, but we go
super
together.
Fun. Hint sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm. But she's accountable, so it makes me accountable. So we actually go there together and leave together. So doing it in the morning is important for me because then I go to work and then I come home and I can kind of get lazy or just want to walk the dog or just have
go for a
kid
bike
activities
ride
and stuff. So I find that if I left it to the evening, it didn't always happen. So for me, it's better in the morning.
Yeah, it's
And it's not every day.
No, but it is. And here it's one of the things that I love so much is that you've been intentional about the effort you put into taking care of yourself. And I can say as part of us not just surviving, part of us, let's go through here. Part of us not only, Owen is taking his circle around. I'm glad the dog isn't loose now. He doesn't do so well with other loose dogs that are out and about. But as far as surviving is we got to take care of ourselves. It's kind of hard. We heard a great sermon last week about pouring out, giving. And I know, you hear me and talk, and I'm on here often, but you don't know how much this woman gives. Like, she gives in her family, she gives to me, she gives to all the people in our workplace. And let me tell you, it is not easy to deal with people and stomach and gut issues. And she's been caring for people. And sometimes the stories are, hey, I had a great patient today, this little old man. And then sometimes it's a patient that's not so easy to deal with. And 20 something years of doing that later, it takes effort. She has to be, I'd say, not necessarily at the top of her game, but be intentional about taking care of herself. Because she does pour out for others. And that's something that I think that's drawn me even closer to her over years, is to see how much she gives, so much. It makes me want to be a better husband, a better dad. It makes me want to be even a better caregiver, right? So with that, it's not about surviving, right? The reality is marriage isn't about surviving. If you think of it that way, if you think about just surviving, chances are you're always going to be on empty. You're always going to be running on empty or looking for ways. Here, let me go over here. Looking for ways, that to make excuses and say, oh, I don't have enough energy, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough patience, I don't have enough money, all those types of things. But truly, you can. Fortunately, it takes finding the right one. Thankfully, God put the two of us together. And I would say, as while it hasn't been always easy, right? It hasn't been always the smooth and easy peasy kind of path. It's been hard, but I would say is the communication is 100%. It's key. And that's like life in general, right? Regardless, whether you're in a relationship and you're married, whether you're with your kids, you got to be open. There's got to be communication. And I would say that's probably one of the things, aside from you being just a badass,
Sicilian,
a badass Italian, from the card, basically. From that, but she is truly, like I said, it makes it easy, I would say, is to thrive when you do get fortune and God does bless you with the woman that God blessed me with. And maybe you're not in an easy relationship. Maybe you've been struggling. Maybe you're on a path of finding a new relationship. Regardless of that, it takes work, it takes effort. But I think Nicole wrapped it up in the beginning, and I'll finish it here, is with God in our path. God in the center, God at the kind of the first and foremost of all things. It's not easy to put God first, but I'll say is when we tend to do that, everything else seems to get aligned up. Not always perfect.
Not always easy.
It's not always easy, but it definitely makes life getting through more of a thriving than just a surviving. So anyway,
and having good family.
And having good family and friends.
Nothing can beat that. You need people, you need a community around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you need to be open and vulnerable and have that kind of support.
Awesome. Hey, you guys, if you like today's Daily Dose, I just want you to give the love. And Nicole doesn't come on often, so I would say I try to get her on more often. But thank you. Not going to happen. Anyway, take care and have a blessed Sunday. We'll talk to you soon.